Trade magazine Adweek relaunched yesterday under the guidance of investment team Prometheus Global Media, led by media veteran and Prometheus CEO Richard Beckman. But will the newly revamped Trade magazine hit a home run? Well, lots of questions to ask, and to do that, let's put them to the Prometheus CEO. He is Richard Beckman. Richard, good to have you here with us.
Nice to be here.
So Adweek just launching, correct?
Yes, yesterday.
And you've brought together three magazines, Adweek, Media Week, and Brand. I mean, why bring them back together again?
Well, they were split off in a different era when there was such a differentiation between media and advertising and brand marketing. And, you know, in the modern information age, it's sort of naive to think that these things should be nicely siloed in different places. They overlap. So we brought them together and create something of more scale.
Is that what advertisers say too? It all just makes sense that these all work together here.
Well, who knows where media ends and communications and entertainment starts today? So, and your network's a living embodiment of that.
Right. No, that's a good point. You know, I got to say though, you know, in reading about you, researching what you're doing right now, I mean, some would call you a very brave man in terms of embracing the print world again. When we know the print world is kind of having a very tough time, it's hard to attract advertisers and so on and so forth. Why do this?
Well, I'm not focused on the print world. We're a platform agnostic business. Mm-hmm. So I think
but you have a print component still.
Of course. I think so do you.
Right.
And I think the attitude here is that print provides something unique, which is context, insight, texture. It's very seductive. The digital world provides immediacy and fast-breaking news, and the two work hand in glove. You need to provide people insight and immediate news.
What do you get though from advertisers? I mean, do they want to be as much a part of the print side of it as well as the online world and the other forms of media?
Absolutely, and in some ways, actually, it's easier to translate the benefits of advertising in print than it is to the digital space, because there's so much time involved.
Even today?
In some ways. In some ways. But I think, once again, it's platform agnostic. The two have to work together.
Well, let me ask you, because you talk about them working together, but I still think about all those well-established publications that are out there, and they're having such a hard time, you know, sustaining readerships and having a sustainable revenue model. You still think, though, it's important to have this component, the print component?
Yeah, video didn't kill the radio star. Magazine circulations, no, it didn't. And magazines are actually growing in their overall circulation. But remember, when we launched yesterday, we also relaunched our new web platform too, mm-hmm. And the reach of the web platform is far beyond that of the publication in terms of its scale of size.
In doing what you're doing, you also have investors. You're working with a private equity firm. You've had a long career, a well-established career. You've worked with lots of different people. What is it like by having a marriage with a private equity firm?
That's an interesting question. You know, I spent my last 24 years before I joined this firm a year ago with a privately held company. And I think with a privately held company, the focus is on the past. Mm-hmm. Family-owned, privately held company, but with
about Condé Nast.
Yeah, and with a private equity company, we were looking forward. And I think that's very liberating when your only benchmark is what you can do to grow the business and expand and develop the business.
You know, Richard, that is liberating, but it's also a lot of pressure because private equity investors, you know, we cover it all the time. I mean, they get into something, but they get into something to turn it around, to sell it, to do something to make money. How much pressure do you get from your investors?
They're very supportive. I think we believe that these businesses that we've bought are at the top of very influential industries, mm-hmm. And our objective is to create multi-platform businesses that can really grow in many different spaces.
What's your time frame? I mean, have you laid out a time frame? Have they laid out a time frame for you?
No, we're in it for the long haul to create a great business. You know?
I want to talk a little bit specifics because Hollywood Reporter is also under your domain. There have been some reports that it has was losing a lot of money each year before you actually bought it. And you've said that no single issue has lost money so far during your ownership. I mean, what's the single most important thing that you have to do to kind of turn the magazine's fortunes around?
Well, I think with the Hollywood Reporter, what you had was a daily trade.
Yeah.
That was trying to break news on a 12-hour cycle, which is impossible today. Yes. So our vision for it was to create a weekly magazine that really provided something that the entire entertainment industry really looked forward to and eagerly anticipated. And we've done that. I think in a year, and the 6 months since we launched the publication, people mm-hmm. are really talking a lot about the product. So the first job is to create a product that the constituent wants, and then you monetize it. And then the truth is that we're in a far better position in terms of the profit that the publication is creating today than we were when we bought it a year ago.
You sound pretty upbeat.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff, and we'll certainly keep following you. Richard, thank you so much for coming in today. Richard Beckman of Prometheus Global Media. He is the CEO of that company. Richard, thanks again.
Thank you.